Happy Thursday, everyone. Happy Thursday. Welcome to Susie Say That. Today's topic is I'm angry, now what? Let's sit in that for a moment. I'm angry, now what? Ask yourself that question. Just let's sit for a moment and ask yourself, when I'm angry, what do I do? How do I express that emotion? I'm angry, now what? Because that's the topic. What do I do with it? There are steps that we can do when we're angry that won't get us in trouble. Anger is an emotion, and it's our emotion that we express when we're disappointed, when we're so-called mad. We have to express it. And sometimes if we don't know what to do with that anger, we express it the wrong way. Ephesians 4:26 states, be angry and sin not. Be angry and sin not. And you know I'm not the person that quote the Bible and give you the scripture, because I believe that you should go find it for yourself. If you're listening to someone and they're giving you some information, I believe when they say the Bible said, I think you should Google it. If you can't Google it, you should ask somebody where it is. But I'm giving you the scripture today because it's important that you know what to do with your anger, that you know what to do. And don't you get angry. So I want to hear that stuff about people saying they don't get angry. It's a lie. It's an emotion that we all have. But the thing about it is that they may do something healthy with their emotion, and you may do something that's unhealthy. Maybe you'll go out and hit someone, hit a wall. Maybe you'll throw something across the room. That's not healthy. That's unhealthy anger. You didn't put it in the right place. Or maybe you get mad and you sock someone, or maybe you do something horribly to somebody. I don't know what you do. Maybe you go gossip about them. It's still bad. It's still wrong. And maybe you call them names and beat them down. Maybe you sabotage their work, or I don't know how you deal with your anger. But any of those things that's negative, you don't know how to deal with your emotions. And they're everywhere. And ask me how I know. I used to be that person, didn't know how to deal with my emotions. They were everywhere. I wasn't socking people and knocking them down and sabotaging their jobs and stuff. I just didn't do those things. However, my anger caused me to get in a lot of sticky situations. I was angry. Now what? I didn't know what to do with it. It caused me to get in a lot of trouble because I didn't know how to leave or calm myself down when I became angry. So I did other things. Okay? So you don't know what to do when you become angry. I have 3 things that I do when I become angry, and it works. It works, it works, it works. First of all, I sit down and I start doing me some deep breathing, because Lord knows I'll be needing it when I get angry. And I start breathing in and out, and I do it however long I need to do it to calm myself. I pray. I definitely pray. It ain't just standing up praying. I have to do it another way. I pray, and after I pray, and I have this long conversation with my God about the whole thing over and over again. I tell him how upset I am, how it's not fair, and I do all this stuff when I'm praying to my God. I don't know how you pray to God, because we all pray to God and have a different relationship with God. So your way may not be my way, but there's no wrong way when you have a relationship with your master, your creator, okay? So you get angry, now what? One thing that I do, I take breathers. I breathe in and out. Inhale, exhale. I'll keep doing that, and then I'll pray. Then my third thing that I love to do is put on music. I put on my worship music. And I listen to it and I blast it, because it assists me into getting into that thankful mode with God. I'm no longer angry. I'm thankful. Thankful that I'm a human being and he allows me to be here. Thankful that crossed my path and now I can learn a lesson from it. What kind of lesson can I learn? And indeed, if you ask God, he'll tell you, because he told me when I got angry. I was like, well, how can I learn from this? And he gave me this perfect thing to use. And I won't go into detail with you all, because God deals with us all different. He may give me something and not give you something. And then you'll say, well, what I said was a lie, because God didn't do it that way that he did it with me. So I'm not going to discuss that with you, what all he told me to do. But I know those 3 methods will work. And then I went and had me some tea. I went and had me some hibiscus tea. I sit at my table and I was slowly drinking my tea and just thinking about the whole situation. And then I'll share with one of my sister friends. I do that too. I'll share it with one of them, because I know it's a safe place for me to share. Okay? And sometimes, hey, I've had to call and get some counseling when I've got angry. I wasn't to that point when I got angry. I didn't have to call the counselor or call and get some therapy because I was broke down in my spirit. I didn't have to do any of those things because I think I handled it pretty good. I tried to handle it the best of my knowledge and my ability without being angry and doing something with my hands or doing something with my mouth that could have hurt this person. I never want to do that. I don't want to be like the person that gives it out, but I want to know, I want to remember that that's where you are. You're stuck in your emotions. You're stuck in anger. You're stuck where you are. You're stuck because you couldn't do these things to other people unless you're already first doing it to yourself. You sin against yourself. That's a Bible scripture. Jesus said, you do it to yourself. You sin to yourself first before you ever could sin to someone else. So if you're angry with somebody else and you're lashing out and doing all the unhealthy things, that's what's going on inside of you. That's that anger and that disappointment and shame and whatever else you may have going on that's within you. So what do you do with your anger? Now what? I'm angry. Now what? People that have become angry done killed people because they didn't let that healthy anger move. They didn't let that emotion move out of them. They just festered on it and festered. They've killed people out of anger. You know, heard the stories. They did all kind of stuff out of being angry with people. Sabotage them, called their job. I mean, when people get angry, they do some strange things, hurtful, harmful, strange things to each other because no one has taught them how to move the anger. I'm angry. Now what? How do you move past it? You can pretend like it's not there, but the next blow up, because it's deep in your heart. So the next blow up you have, that same anger, the same thing that's been going on is going to appear again. So if you hit people when you get angry, you will get angry again. And if you hit people and come up out yourself and throw things at walls and break things and all that, you'll just keep on doing it because you're angry and you don't know what to do with it. So you got to find your own jam. How am I going to be dealing with anger when I get, maybe you need to go to anger management. Never been there because I've had some good counselors and some good therapists around me. Never needed to. However, I remember being so angry. I remember being so angry. One time I had to go and just go into a room and just scream. And I did. And I just screamed and screamed. And I yelled and yelled. I was so hurt, but I was so angry. And I did that for a long time. And then I walked out the room like a boss. I got it all out of me. I mean, I was screaming and I was crying and I was yelling. And then I asked for some counseling. I said, hey, I need for you to counsel me on this because then they said, let's go to the word. What did the word say about it? What does God? Because everything in my life is contingent on what the Bible is saying about me, what I need to do. So I'm angry. Now what? I've learned so many life lessons. And sometimes we're not going to live in this world and not be angry about things. You're pretending to yourself, I'll never do that again. I'll never say it again. Yeah, you will. Until you learn where to put that emotion at, until you learn where to put that anger at, until you learn that it does not belong in me because it festers. It'll make me sick. And I'm not just talking about physical sick. It'll make you mental sick. You'll just be thinking about it, and it can create a path in your body to make you physical sick. Angry, being angry. I'm angry, now what? What are you going to do with it? I've been there. You all. So I'm telling you, you have to do something with it. You have to get you some counseling. If you can't navigate this with you and God, then you need an outside source to help you see God where God can help you navigate your situation. Because you will do some bad stuff out of anger if you don't get yourself together. Regret, remorse. Where do you think all this stuff come from? I'm talking about in reference to you being angry. It comes from being angry, you not being able to weather it, and you not being able to push it out of you instead of keeping it inside you. It belongs out. Sit down with someone. I tell people all the time, you feeling angry, you feeling some kind of way, go sit down at a park bench in a park and tell the next person how you feeling and what happened, and then walk off like the boss you are, and don't worry about it no more. You in the grocery store and you just got mad or you're angry about something and you experienced something, tell the cashier, I just got something to tell you today. I was so angry earlier. Oh, I want to do this and I want to do that, but you know I didn't do it. I'm on this teaching journey. I'm on this lesson learning. I gotta get this anger under control, but I'm not gonna do anything with it. I'm gonna let it pass. That's why I told you. Like I said, walk out like the boss you are. But it's gotta go somewhere. Somewhere. Wonder how many children get hurt, get abused, and babies get shaken and they get strangled and stuff because the person is angry. and they don't know where to move the anger. So they keep the anger in them, and then they abuse the children or they murder the children. It was all started from anger, being angry and not knowing what to do with it. We should get angry about certain things. If someone hurt my children, I'm going to be angry. Okay, if somebody hurt my grandbabies, I'm going to be angry. But I better know what to do with it. I better not get on that phone and start calling people and saying this and cursing them out and doing all that kind of stuff. That's not the way I handle things with God. I've matured in that area. That ain't the way I handle people. Telling, you're going to do this and you're going to do that, and I wish they might. I'm going to do that. That's where it's telling you where your anger at. And because you're spoken those things, then the enemy has a right to activate with you those things that you've spoken. The devil, you know him? Satan. He has a right, once you speak it out of yourself, to come on board with you because you're inviting him. Because anger with abuse and unhealthy anger is one of his tools. That's a tool he's always used against human beings. He uses that tool very well because we go hand in hand with him with the anger because we don't know what to do with it. There's a place for anger, and it ain't inside of you. It's outside of you. And today you need to find out how you're going to handle it. I'm angry, now what? What are you going to do with it? You need to find someone. If you ain't going to go to God, you ain't going to go to Jesus and tell him about it. Hey, you got to find somebody. You got to find someone to talk this out because it's going to fester and it's going to turn into something else that's going to get you in trouble. You don't want to be in trouble, do you? I've been in trouble before with anger, but now I take care of it. I take care of anger. I'm not going to let it fester and take care of me. And then I go hand in hand with the enemy, and then he has a right to attack me, and he has a right to send the rest of his forces against me because I said, okay, I'm angry. I'm never getting over this. I've done it. And I've experienced it with the enemy. I've experienced him heightening it up, making it bigger and making him going hand in hand with my feelings and my emotions because I did not put him in the right place. You angry? Now what? What are you planning on doing with it? Maybe you don't drink tea like I do. I didn't used to always drink tea like that, like I drink it now. I've always liked tea, but not like I love it now. But now I just go have a glass of tea, cup of tea, sit down, talk to God about it, pray about it, put me some worship music, gospel music, whatever I need to do, that which I like to do. Okay? So you figure out what are you going to do with your anger? Anger. I'm angry. Now what? Now what? Will you be angry tonight when you go to bed? Will you be angry and then go to the bar and get drunk and then hurt some other people in the process of you being angry? Go out and start doing drunk driving because you're angry. You're angry. So now everybody else got to pay for your anger because your anger says I go hand in hand with the enemy. And now he sets up all the roadblocks for you to be angry so you can be a drunk driver and you can hurt somebody. Hurt somebody and maybe even kill somebody because you're angry. Maybe you're angry because you lost your job today. And now you're going to go home and beat your wife up or beat your girlfriend up because you don't know where you're going to get some money at. That's going to get you in trouble because you may beat her up and kill her. Or maybe you're a man that has a wife that got angry and beat you up. Now what is she going to do with the anger? Keep on taking you and using you as a punching bag for it? What are you going to do with the anger? You're angry at your boss. And you still look at him every day and think about ways where you're going to get rid of him. You're already plotting a scheme on him. Come on. You got to get that stuff out of you. Won't you just go sit at your park bench and tell them all about it? Or won't you just go in an empty room and just scream and shout and tell the atmosphere about it? Won't you just go hug a tree? Tell the tree. The tree going to give you what you need. Why don't you just take your shoes off and go outside and walk so you can get set, so your energy field can be set in a healthy way. But you got to do something with your anger. I'm angry, now what? You can follow my 3 tools. It all works because it's your belief that's going to take you there in the first place. If you believe it, it's going to work. So you can do what I do. There's many ways to get yourself together from anger, but you just got to know your way so you won't keep on getting in trouble. Because if not, you're going to keep on getting in trouble over and over again because what's inside of you is saying something's wrong here. Because when I get angry, I don't know how to control it. It's the outward. You're going to meet all these haters that's outside of you that's mirroring what's going on inside of you. And that's all that is. It's just saying, hey, then you're going to meet somebody else going to make you angry. And then inside of you, that's a mirror. That's a mirror to you of what's going on. You only meet these people that's making you angry because it's going on inside of you. To say, hey, look at me. But no, You're too busy hiding what's inside of you. So then when that mirror reflects to you, then you just avoid it and you silence the mirror that's inside of you that's saying, hey, look, look, look. You say, be quiet. I love to encourage and nurture what's going on inside of me. So you silence it. Come on. We got to do better now because you have the information today. Ephesians 4:26. Angry, be angry, but sin not. So today you have the opportunity, because I'm here telling you about it, what you can do that's different. And you don't have to be angry. There's all kind of tools that God will give you if you ask him and you ask other people. I just gave you my tools that I use and I get angry. I have me some tea and then I pray and then I listen to some gospel, praise, worship, music. And sometimes it's not in order. It depends on how angry I am. Sometimes God is first. He's the first one I'm telling him about, because then I need him to show me some scriptures or calm my spirit and let me know that's a healthy emotion that you're feeling. But you need to get it out of you. You don't need to let it fester. So what are you going to do today about your anger? I'm angry. Now what? Think about that tonight and also thinking about as the weekend goes. What are you going to do different? And then meditate and pray on Ephesians 4:26. Be angry and sin not. And God is saying, hey, I'm letting you be angry. You got a right to express that. But I don't want you to sin and miss me and do something that's going to get you in trouble. So I'm telling you, you have a right to be angry, but you don't have a right to harm and abuse and do other hateful, evil things to other people when you become angry. Because being angry is a good emotion, because you're not keeping it inside yourself, but it needs to be released out and not stay in and cause you to be sick or get you in trouble. Okay? Till the next time.